So we're making some progress on the taillight covers. They're supposed to sit for about 20 to 45 minutes under the old stripper. So we'll see how that works. In the meantime, I've been cleaning up the tail lights. I know it drives everybody nuts when I don't turn that properly. Anyway, there's one I've cleaned up. These are original tail lights out of the car. I've got some plastic polish, which I'll take to it next. But that's one that's done. This is one that's not done yet. As you can see, it's been sitting for a while. It was sitting outside for a number of years, but everything's cleaning up all right. It's coming up very well. That's upside down, but anyway, I'll take some plastic polish to that, and that'll get those swirl marks out of that, and maybe some of these little marks here. But overall, they're in good shape, both front side and back side. No cracks. A little bit wet there from me just cleaning it, but everything's pretty good. So a lot of cleanup to do on this car. Here's the windows, which we had out of it when we got it painted. So that's the next little project. But got the seats out, got them cleaned up. Did that last week, so she's coming along. Long way to go. Bits and pieces. This is the front cover that goes on the behind the Endura bumper. I've cleaned up this side here. Just a little water there, but that's cleaned up very well too. There's some old spray from when the car was painted dark blue, about the color of these gloves actually. And then this is the side I haven't cleaned yet, but it'll clean up nice. Pretty exciting to get back into it. I've got a goal of the next 45 days to get this car done. So need to move it on and get on to something else. So while we're spreading a little bit of the stripper around, we're going to also strip the wheels. I can't see this very well, but they appear to be the correct wheel, 1969. That's the code number. This is a date certain, I think, over here. I'll get that cleaned up. Looks like K5, 22K5, I think, or 25K5. Anyway, so we'll get these wheels all stripped down. And while we're slinging stripper tonight, later on in the week, I'll drop these. I just want to test this and see these codes are all correct. And then I'm going to get these wheels over to the tire shop and get the tires broken off of them. Then I'll finish stripping them and painting them. But they appear to be correct, and that's the spare wheel out of the trunk of the car. And I think that's correct as well. So that's an old bias ply tire. Maybe an original tire to that car. It's crazy. Let's see here. Not Monarch, something or other. Can't hardly see it. Tubeless. Monarch Road Hugger. That gives you a confident feeling with these nice worn out sidewalls, huh? Anyway, she's coming along, little piece at a time. So it's been about 20 minutes or so. I'll get back to these in a second, but first round of strippers off that. I did want to get back, so I got both these taillights cleaned up. This is the first one that I did. This one is not in as good a shape. Not bad, but somebody got really violent with the spray gun, so I got to strip all that mess off of there. The reason I'm doing this is I'm really trying to keep this car all original. And if this is your first time watching my YouTube channel about this GTO, it's a 38,000 original mile car. So things like windows, I did not save the windshield, it was cracked. But you know, things like heater cores, we've cleaned this up. I haven't done any restoration on it yet, but here's the HVAC system as it came out of the car. Again, all original. Parts to match the car. That's the original squirrel cage for the heater. I'm trying to keep all this stuff, even this little stuff. Like I say, the car was painted for a World of Wheels show car, and somebody got, like I say, absolutely haphazard with the primer specifically. As you can see here again, I'll get all that off. But one of the things I want to do, which again I'll get back to in a minute, I want to get to this other stuff while it's still wet, but those are the original taillight bezels. And the metal looks like it's in pretty good shape underneath. I'll get in there and scrape at it a little bit more. I'm going to put another coat on it tonight before I go to bed and hack at it one more time. But it's pretty pitted right there. But they don't look too bad, all things considered. So we'll get them stripped and get them re-chromed, I think. As I say again, it's part of the original car. I really choose to keep the car as original as possible. Again, it's dirty. The car sat outside, I think since about 1996 until we bought it in 2016. So what I did want to show you is I got put some goop on the wheels. Get these dates cleaned up. That's wiping off nice and easy. So that'll be nice to get these finished. That's just one coat of stripper and it's come right off. So I'm going to look it up. I'll put it on the end of this video, but I think that KS is correct for this car. And there's the other numbers on here. I think the 9 represents 1969. And again, I'll check and see what the rest of these numbers mean. I looked at them before I started this whole mess, and now I can't remember. But they're going to clean up all right when it's all said and done. We'll do a much better job. But I really just wanted to see what those look like, and I'll take this 4 wheels. I've got all the original wheels that came with the car. I'll take those over to my tire shop and get them unmounted tomorrow. But again, there's the codes on the wheel. I've got 4 of them like that. I think one of them may have some different numbers on it, but when it's all said and done, that's going to clean up pretty well. I don't know if I'll do one of those kits from Ames Performance and do it myself or not, but again, what I was trying to get to on these was this is all original stuff. Don't want to screw it up, and as I said, the metal underneath doesn't look too bad. I'm sure a chrome shop can fix that before they redo them. I actually may stop here because they're obviously, the chrome underneath it was not salvageable, which is kind of what I wanted to check, which was a shot in the dark, but what the hell. So that's kind of that for the evening. I will go look up that code for the wheels to make sure that that is the right year code for those wheels. But yeah, it's all coming along. We got tail lights done for the most part. I'll polish them with some plastic polish. I'll drop these off to get them chromed next week. I've got a couple other pieces I want to get done as well around the I've got all the original moldings that go all on the window moldings and stuff around the windows. Fortunately I have all that, so I'm going to get that all cleaned up. The other thing we did do since I last did a video, this is all the window gear. Ouch. We cleaned all that up and hit it with some steel wool and sprayed it with WD-40 so it doesn't get rusty again. But that's all the original window gear. We got it all cleaned up and looks pretty doggone nice. Got a whole bunch of it in there, and there's the A-pillar for the original dark blue interior. So there's a little bit of interior pieces in there. But yeah, it cleaned up really well. I'm very pleased with this stuff. It came out real well. I got to do a little bit more hitting with the steel wool there, but not bad. All the pieces came out very, very well. Didn't want to put crappy looking stuff back in these nice new painted doors, painted car. So she's gonna be a beauty when she's done. Okay, one more tour around the garage. I'll wrap this up and I'll go look for those codes on the wheels and then put that on here and wrap this video up. So there's lots of information online on Pontiac Rally 2 wheels as well as GM Rally 2 wheels as a whole. But as you can see from these codes, this analyzes them very well. Sadly, mine are not correct. I believe they're 1971. And the wheel code is, for my car, is actually for a Firebird, 71 Firebird, I believe. But Anyway, there's a lot of data. I'll include the screenshots here, but sadly enough, mine are not the right wheel codes, so I might just go ahead and buy a set off of Ames Performance, or maybe we'll spend a little time. I'm probably 2 months from getting the car done. We'll spend a little time and see if we can't find some date correct wheels. But that's a little disappointing, but not the end of the world. As you can see in these next two shots, we do not have the correct wheel codes for my car, which is again a 69 GTO coupe. Not that the coupe matters, but got the paint stripper on the wheels, and this is a KS wheel, which is actually for the 71 Firebird, I believe. There's another screenshot here coming up with the other side of the valve stem. There's also some codes on the back of the wheel that give the date they were made, etc. And those are also not correct. As you can see here, the 11 and the M5 is the plant. 1 below that is the year. The 11 is the month. And on the other side of the stem, 28th on one of the wheels, 8th on another one, and the third wheel is a 8th of November 1971. Again, the M5 is the plant they were made. 1 is the year, so 1971. 11 is the month, and you'll see on the other picture the date. And then another one was made the 9th month of 71. In summary, on the wheels you can see here, mine are KS, which rally 2 wheels, 14 by 6, or sorry, 14 by 7, and 69, 70 to 73 Firebird, 74 to 75 Firebird on this sheet. Le Mans would include the body for the GTOs, but that was again 73 to 75. So as you can see on here, using what's available on the internet, which is great data actually, we have a 1971 Firebird wheels, 14 by 7 and 4.75 bolt pattern. So great data available. I'll include the links below in the description. So we're in the sad GTO. We're getting her cleaned up. Got some more cleanup stuff to do inside. But welcome to the series on putting this car back together. It's pretty exciting. She's in the garage. Crappy winter weather, as you can see from my breath. But we're excited to get her back together. So my nephew and I, Jeremy, we'll be doing some more videos as this comes together shortly. So it's our winter project, and we'll get her banged out. Do me a favor and please hit like. We'd like to get these subscriptions up. And we'll be doing more on the GTO. Like, subscribe, and follow us as we do this. Thank you again.